I like to learn about health, and I'm always reading and watching videos. This morning I was watching a few videos from someone that I had never heard of before, and they were saying a lot of truthful things. And so I was like, hey, this is somebody I can start listening to. But as I continued to listen, I started to see sprinkles of, you know, myths and, just erroneous things, like in the middle of all these things he was saying. And so I went to go and research certain things because that's how I am. I never look to one person as my source of knowledge, and I never just take information. I take what is true, but I'm not going to take everything you say. If it doesn't sound familiar to me, I'm going to look it up. So I went to go look up a few of the claims the guy was making, and a lot of them were false things. And after about 5 videos, I walked away with one or two things that came out to be something I didn't know that actually happened to be true. The rest was a lot of fluff and a lot of things that sounded right but are wrong. And the way that this guy presents himself is somebody very knowledgeable. And I'm a nutritionist, and if I didn't have the knowledge that I had, listening to him, I would have completely believed everything that he said. If I was the typical person, that doesn't know anything about health or nutrition, the way that he sounded was very convincing. And so I just want to encourage people that whenever you start listening to anyone, even me, it doesn't matter who it is, always check the references, especially because health information and new studies and research is developing all the time. And so what was true yesterday may not be true today. But the guy, he was saying a lot of outdated stuff. And so it was very dangerous, and you have to be very careful about who you listen to. And it's not to say that everything he was saying is wrong. I did walk away with something that I am going to implement in my own healthy lifestyle, but just always have your guard up and make sure you check the facts before accepting anything as truth. So, along with cutting my carb intake, I'm also going to go back to eating 3 meals a day. I adopted the 6 meal a day eating habit a long time ago, and it started to work for me very well. And eating 6 meals a day is something that works, but let me tell you how it works. It works for 2 reasons. Number one, it helps you to get a hold on to your portion control. So if you're eating 6 small meals a day, you're not eating huge meals and overeating. So that's good. If you're the type of person that's detail oriented and you can go by set things like that, like I am, then that works well for you. Especially if you eat on the go and you have a busy lifestyle, this works really well. The second thing is it helps you to stave off cravings. So if you have your little meal packed throughout the day here and there, you actually are helping yourself to avoid falling into craving temptations. However, based on the things I've read, having your digestive system going to work all the time is something that may not necessarily be healthy overall for your digestive system, and it's making it do a lot of work. And so I feel that since now I have a control over my weight, I can go back to eating 3 times a day normally, and I know how to eat. And that's the most important thing. The most important thing is knowing how to eat. And so if you are eating 6 small meals but it's all junk, then you're not really experiencing the real benefits of that eating habit. You actually are missing the point. And so when I eat my 3 meals a day, they're well rounded. So I started this morning. I had 2 whole grain waffles. That's the only grains I'm going to have for today. I had 2 scrambled eggs, and 1 sausage link, and also breakfast sausage link, and a cup of spinach with an orange. And so the grains, I like to have that in the beginning of my day to help me with cravings. Also, it helps me to have energy for the morning when I work my job. With the vegetables, that's something that I would always wanted to incorporate into breakfast anyway. And with the orange, I'm getting my fruit. That helps with digestion. And then also with the eggs and the sausage, that's the protein that I need to have to help to stay full longer. And the eggs have healthy fats in them as well to help with appetite suppressing as well. I don't just do the egg whites, I do the whole egg, which is better for you. So that is what I eat for breakfast. I actually haven't planned out what I'm going to eat for lunch. Whatever I eat for lunch is going to mimic that same pattern. Fruits, vegetables, protein, minus the grain. So once again, I have grains, but only once a day toward the morning. So it's going to be breakfast with, the food groups that I'm supposed to have, plus the grains, and then minus the grains on each thing after each meal, with no snacking in between. And I'm not so sure that it's going to help me lose weight in any way, but that's not the reason why I'm doing it. I think it works better for me because it allows me to feel satiated in the morning, where I really need to feel that to help me power through my morning. And it takes a lot of the guesswork out of adding up all these different carbs throughout the day. It's easier just to plan out my meal, put in my stuff, and have everything all together. That's a little bit easier. And it's more practical for me. And I think at this stage, I don't have to pack food with me everywhere I go. I am a little bit stronger than I gave myself credit. So I can eat just in the morning and I won't lose it, if I don't have a snack if I don't eat until lunch. And the reason why that is because my insulin is being managed better because I'm no longer with type 2 diabetes. When you have type 2 diabetes, though, you can't make it that long without eating. And that's how I was. And I'm not like that anymore. And that's also the key. Going throughout your health journey, you're going to hit many different stages and phases in your body. You're going to go through times where you're going to need to do this. You're going to need to do that. And when that season is over, you find something new, not changing up your diet, but just changing the way that you do things according to where you are now in your health. I don't need to do things like a type 2 diabetic anymore because I'm no longer a type 2 diabetic. So I had to change the way that I exercise and change when I eat and things like that because now I'm normal. And so I get the freedom to do certain things, being mindful at the same time of my new health practices. So I am going to exercise. I exercised yesterday. It's all about cardio right now because I still have to cut. I have to drop about 30 pounds to be where I want to be for the competition. I only have to lose about 10 pounds to be where I want to be as far as, health-wise, but 30 pounds for the competition. And I'm thinking more about 25, 20 to 25 will be okay. So we'll just see how it looks when I get there. But remember, I'm doing everything naturally. I'm not doing anything crazy, and I'm not doing anything that's going to hijack my body and mess up my metabolism. Because a part of this journey for me to being a competitor is to do it in a way that's natural and achievable, and that someone can do and be healthy doing it. Not everybody is doing it in a healthy way, and I want to show that you can do it in a healthy way, without throwing yourself into a female triad and getting down to an unhealthy weight. I don't want to be an unhealthy weight just to be in a competition. That's not going to be me. So I'm going to get within the guidelines, the suggested guidelines, without doing something that's going to hurt myself, because that defeats the whole purpose for me. So that's basically where I am.